What shall we discuss today?
Okay, well, we talked about movies, what movies defined us growing up. Now we're just going to talk about our history of television watching.
Okay.
The boob tube. Cable TV pre-streaming.
Yep. Sometimes not even cable. I had an antenna.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I remember that antenna.
Yeah. So
You had to turn a dial on this little device
and wait for it to focus. So yeah. That's yeah. Okay.
So my first memories of TV is like catching glimpses of All in the Family.
Okay.
I was way too young to be a watcher of All in the Family, but my family was watching it and I saw some of it and I liked it. I like Archie and Edith and Meathead. What's Gloria?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't even watch it and I know the characters' names. It just stuck with me. It was just so funny. And I was, 8? Maybe? So that was my first introduction to TV. What was your introduction?
Well, I have a couple shows that I would watch.
Introduction, not...
Yeah. So my kind of introduction was the very kid-friendly programs. So I used to like the, Sesame Street growing up. Hercules was a big show for me, Hercules, and a show you probably have hardly ever heard of was the first show I ever became a watcher of regularly, was called The Herculoids. And it had like all these different like creatures that would talk like this, and it just, what the heck is that? They had my favorite dinosaur was not a T-Rex but the Triceratops, but it would shoot lava rocks out of its skull and things like that, like cool things like that. It had a flying dragon, a giant rock ape. That was my cartoon, boy.
Okay, well,
I would watch.
If you're going to go back to cartoons, then...
Well, you said kid. So this is
okay,
what
but I was
watched.
talking about cable TV that people would say are a show. But if you're talking about super early kid,
it
was Hercules with the ring and Newton.
Yeah.
It was G-Force, and it was He-Man.
See, I didn't watch those too much because I'm a generation earlier.
Well, you're like Hanna-Barbera generation.
Yeah, Flintstones and all that. Now, as a teenager, what did you watch?
Well, I even have a time before I was a teenager.
Oh, okay, I got teenager, so.
Because family time at my house was sitcom television.
Most.
And so we were always watching Three's Company, Full House, Cheers, Night Court. Like that was on every day.
See, for me, by the time I was watching those are almost on reruns for me. Kind of thing. For myself, now, what do you have for your teenage years? Is that your teenage years?
Teenage years. When I was finally able to watch television on my own, not family time, the two things that I watched were Married with Children and WKRP in Cincinnati.
Okay. Close to, well, I would watch Get Smart, Gilligan's Island, All in the Family, but one of the shows, believe it or not, that used to be an event in our house as a teenager was Hockey Night in Canada. Saturday night hockey. We would watch the Montreal Canadiens because we lived in Ottawa. That was the team that played. That was my dad's favorite team. We only had 2 channels, CTV and CBC. And Hockey Night in Canada came on at 8 o'clock every Saturday night religiously, and we would watch the hockey game during the season. That was an event in our house.
Yeah, sports-wise, like I watch sports here and there, but I was never into the hockey or the NFL. So those were the 2 big sports. I'd watch tennis, Canadian football, but...
That explains a lot. Well, now, as a young adult, so you say...
Young adult. Later on in my teen years, it was all about moonlighting.
Okay.
You know Bruce Willis, yeah. And Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah, those are big for you.
Like all 8, like I've never been a fanboy of Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or Star Trek, but I watched every single episode and the reruns of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Okay. I was always big into the courtroom dramas. So shows like Law and Order, Matlock, those were shows that I enjoyed watching. Anything to do with court dramas. To this day, I still watch.
Still, like, investigator stuff too, like Murder, She Wrote?
Not so much. I do watch, but Columbo, stuff like that, I did watch. All that kind of stuff. But on a regular basis, there was 2 sitcoms that we watched religiously, and that was Friends and Seinfeld. Must-see TV Thursday night. Every Thursday, Friends and Seinfeld. I used to get so mad if I was out of town and missed an episode and somebody forgot to record it for me on the VCR. Because you'd have to wait forever to see it again.
Okay, so that's where this video doesn't line up very well, because we're in different age groups, but at the same time, we're watching that.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, Friends and Seinfeld are definitely on my... I'm a full-fledged adult, and I'm watching this. Yeah. It has to be on everybody's list.
Yeah. That's why I said Matlock, Law and Order, because they were before then.
Yeah.
But, and Columbo for sure. But, no, those were the big shows growing up, and I don't think anything competes with Friends and Seinfeld to this day as far as... Big Bang came close, but I'd still say those far outdo all the other sitcoms.
I got Big Bang Theory on mine, and another sitcom that I really enjoy, and I only watch it when I go visit my mom, and it's Rules of Engagement. And it's that guy that does the voice for the wheelchair guy on Family Guy. You know, he's a really stoic guy, really bland voice. Love that show. With David Spade.
He's also David Puddy from Seinfeld. Elaine's boyfriend.
Yeah.
In case you want a visual.
But House really defined the change in TV for me. Like, that's
the drama.
Yeah, the new era of television for me started with Lost and House MD. And after that, everything was measured up against those as, is this worth watching? Like, I watched it after the fact, but also West Wing. The West Wing, House, Lost, those are, for me, when TV changed.
Okay. Here's a question. We'll throw this in for fun. Is there anything in the last 3 years that competes with any of the shows we've been watching?
In the last 3 years?
Yeah. Anything new come out? Any shows that you'd say, yeah, I gotta follow that. I really want to watch that. Like we did with Suits and Murder, She Wrote and Matlock and Friends and Seinfeld.
This is the streaming era. So the only thing that I can think of that did that for me, not in the last 3 years, was Breaking Bad. Game of Thrones.
That was on TV, though.
Breaking Bad was on cable TV? No, it was still in the streaming era.
9 years.
I don't know. But those would become the closest. There's nothing that has grabbed my attention like those since.
No. I turned on the TV and everything is Chicago this, Chicago that. Or NCIS this, NCIS
but
that.
I don't have cable anymore, so I don't know what's on TV.
I still do, but I don't, there's nothing right now that out there that I really want to watch. There was a courtroom drama called Bull. It went 5 seasons, now it's gone. And I haven't found anything since, and I've been trying. Looking for new shows to enjoy.
Now, one thing, there are a couple out there that I know I should watch because I would probably find them amazing. Yellowstone. I hear so much good stuff about that. The first couple of seasons of Vikings was great. Saul. Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul. I watched a couple seasons of that.
Is it epic? Because I think it's probably epic and I'm missing it.
I enjoyed it. It wasn't epic to me, but it was good. But then again, I haven't seen Breaking Bad. I haven't seen a lot of these shows. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I think gone are the days of those must-see TV shows anymore because of streaming. They're farther and fewer between.
I think Big Bang Theory was the closest to Friends and Seinfeld that we'll ever get.
Yeah, the way they do it now, unless things change, unless they go back to that weekly episodic shows. Because dropping it all at once, you watch it, you forget about it. There's no talking about it at work for, over the course of a season. Did you see what happened yesterday on Seinfeld? Did Ross and Rachel get together? There's none of that anymore, right? Where that drawed people into those shows.
In fact, people actively don't want to talk about it because you'll spoil it for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, well. Well, that's our viewing. What was your favorite shows growing up, both as a kid, teenager, and young adult?
Yeah. What was your favorite sitcom?
Yeah. I bet you Friends and Seinfeld are on that list.
Do, 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 do.